Welcome back to Shemsuniverse. So today, guys, we're going to discuss Pluto and all 12 of the Zodiac signs. Pluto represents authority, power, obsession, control. Pluto is the god of the underworld. I've discussed this in the prior video. If you have any questions regarding Pluto, either leave it in the comments for me, or you can just go to my prior video where I actually give more of a definition of what Pluto really means. But today I just want to talk about how its transformative energy incorporates itself within all 12 of the Zodiac signs. So let's get this underway. So the first thing I want to discuss is Pluto within Aries. Pluto in Aries is a real go-getter, real starter, real innovator. These people are the people that come up with new ideas, and they're people that will get these ideas off the ground the quickest out of all of the zodiac signs. Meaning, if you put Pluto there, it's going to make somebody that wants to transform an idea into a concept, into something that's actually tangible very, very quickly. This is a very great place to have Pluto. When Pluto is in Aries, this means that these people are definitely go-getters. They want to get the life that they want, and they're willing to actually take the action to get it. They don't just want to think about it. The problem is that Aries at times it can be a very, very passionate, and that fire can burn out very quickly. When Pluto is here, you guys may want to transform the energy into other things instead of actually sticking with one thing. So make sure even when you get a project off the ground that you actually stick with it, and you'll be just fine. Moving on to the next one, we have Pluto in Taurus. When we find Pluto in Taurus, this makes somebody that may have a bit of a OCD for their material objects around them. They want everything in order. They very, very much dislike chaos. Chaos can be like just like a messy room, messy office, messy car, things like that. They want to make sure all their material objects around them are very neat, very pristine, very clean. And they want to have the best that life has to offer when it comes to quality. They're more quality people than quantity, and that's a very, very great trait to have. It becomes detrimental when it becomes like an OCD syndrome where you're actually trying to meddle in other people's things and fix that as well. Just make sure that just the security and stability and the material wealth and comfort that you're looking for, you just find within yourself, and make sure you're just doing it around the things that you actually own. If you overstep your boundaries here, this can lead to people feeling offended or feeling like you're looking down upon them. But aside from that, Pluto here really provides a lot of transformative energy. Taurus is a very rigid, fixed sign. So when changes happen in life, the only thing to watch out for is that you're able to actually change with the circumstance and adapt, and don't get too stuck in your old habits and old ways. This is the only problem with Taurus, is that you guys will be too rigid in your thinking that when a situation demands a different caliber of thinking, you may not incorporate it. And Pluto is here to sort of teach you, if Pluto's in your Taurus, it's here to kind of teach you that you need to get outside of rigid thinking in order to actually get the things that you want in life. You may have to take on different perspectives and then be fixed in that perspective for a while to see how it works. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Gemini. When we have Pluto in Gemini, this is like the these guys get along very well. The Pluto is always about change, transformation, and then Gemini is about change and two-phase transformation as well. They very, very much get along. This is a highly intellectual place to have Pluto. This means that you guys are able to get deconstruct like abstract ideas, communicate your ideas very well, conceptualize your ideas, turn them into action. But that rarely happens. It's mostly just brainstorming because Pluto is within Gemini, so your thoughts are always racing and always changing. The main challenge with Pluto and Gemini is to actually find a solid ground, solid firm ground the way Taurus does, and be able to actually bring your ideas to the light the way in which Aries does. So you want to make sure that you're able to really transmute that energy, all this intellectual energy that you have, into something that's tangible. And the way to do that is to focus on your discipline, your consistency, and your focus. Once you're able to do those things and make sure that you're staying on topic, staying on subject, staying on point, you're going to get a lot farther in life. But if you just keep having abstract ideas and then changing yourself and reinventing yourself and just saying you're going to do all these things then never getting to it, then your results are going to reflect that. But if you're able to focus on a singular purpose, then your results are going to reflect that as well. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Libra. Pluto and Libra people are quite interesting because their relationship with the world is in the sense of they want justice. These are the real freedom seekers. They want the justice throughout the world. They want to make sure everybody's being treated fairly, whether that be family, friends, their community, the world as a whole. These people want to, especially in personal relations, make sure that they receive justice. And that means that you treat them respectfully, they treat you respectfully, the scales are always balanced. What happens is when you overly focus on balance, you then unbalance life in itself. You actually create chaos. In order for life to be balanced, there must be chaos. chaos provides order, and order provides chaos. Once there's an order set, then there's going to have to be something new to cycle it, regeneration, regrowth, the way Pluto does, and that's going to cause chaos. Then with the chaos, you have to put everything together, clean up the mess, and then you get order, and you come up with new processes, new ideas, new inventions. Libra too much focuses on the balance of things, and they want to make sure everything is harmonious, but they don't focus and understand that the negative parts of life are necessary just as much as the positive ones are. Understand the binary concept of negative and positive. Understand that they're one and the same. They're just on different ends of the same spectrum. Understand the gradients between the light gray and the dark gray. It's all really the same thing, but you need to just really fathom that within your mind and not focus too much on justice and harmony. Let those things happen naturally by being a competent person that's providing value to your community, providing value to your family and your friends. Once you're providing that value, you're actually introducing balance. And then if they're not going to reciprocate what you're giving, then you understand that you're in chaos and you move on. But don't overly focus on trying to make everything balanced or change other people. We all have our own life paths, our own star alignments. People are going to be who they're going to be. You can't change them unless they choose to change. All right? So don't focus too much on trying to change the justice of the world, change the injustices that's happening within your personal reality. Focus on just becoming the best version of yourself and then teaching other people through your actions to be the best version of themselves. That's the best way you can actually provide balance in the current world that we live within. Moving on, next we have Pluto within Scorpio. So Pluto's natural home, of course, is Scorpio. This is a very intense sign because this is kind of the opposite of what I was discussing with Libra. These people now, they don't care about the negatives of life. They'll go through anything. They look at everything as just hurdles. They have challenges. They just want to run through it. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate. They want to go right through. They don't hesitate. They have a very predatorial view of the world. And they'll reinvent themselves if they see fit towards getting a goal done. So their idea with Pluto is that I'll transform myself into who I need to be in order to get something done. And that's a very adaptable, very competent sort of energy to have. It's very likely that you're going to want these people on your side and you do not want them as your enemy. These people are very, very tactical. This is like a chess grandmaster that's always making movements. So when you have Pluto here, stands for like high intellectualism, a lot of research, analytical ability, and a lot of power plays. But just make sure that you're not overly focused on power and prestigious like positions in life. Make sure that you're actually focused on becoming the best version of yourself and transforming into that person through day-to-day actions and routines and habits. But make sure that you're not really disrespecting other people. And that's where we get the polarizing opposite to Libra, is that Scorpio will disrespect others if they see fit. They'll destroy somebody if they really see it as a necessity, to be completely honest. You want to make sure that you still have a certain set of principles that you're going to follow, and then everything else will follow through from there. You have the ruthless predatorial demeanor to get ahead in the business world, but when it comes to personal relations, you guys can be a bit of a throw-off, a bit mysterious. Just make sure that you are following your own intuition and that you are being the right person for any given situation. All right? Moving on to the next one, we have Pluto in Sagittarius. This stands for a very now optimistic view of the world. The Scorpio is a very pessimistic view, and they really look at life as something that's like war. Sagittarius is all about adventure, different sensual experiences, really going around the world, visiting new cultures, and having this sort of upbeat sort of manner, not really planning everything out. When Pluto is here, this can be very interesting because these people always want to transform their life, transform where they are, switch locations, and this can lead to bad results because you're not actually fixed on one particular thing for any given amount of time. People that have Pluto and Sagittarius, they don't really care about riches, they don't really care about the power as much as they care about the freedom. And your over-obsession with freedom leads to lack of discipline. The whole key concept, this one is nice and short. Focus on discipline, and the more and more discipline your movements become in your day-to-day life, is the more freedom you're going to attain in the process. The next sign I want to cover is Cancer. When we have Pluto in Cancer, this means there's going to be a lot of disturbance and change within the emotional center of these people. Pluto in Cancer is a very like a watery liquid sign. So what this means is Pluto, of course, is king of the underworld. Pluto likes to have power plays. When Pluto's within Cancer, these people like to really use this sort of their emotional responses and their emotional intuitiveness as a power-seeking device. So what these people will do is the same way in which Gemini can use their intellectualism as a weapon, Pluto will use their emotional intelligence as a weapon by manipulating social circles, being able to get in with people, finding out their secrets. It's a very good place to have Pluto. However, if you're just having too much emotional volatility, you're not going to receive any real good results. The first thing you should focus on if you have Pluto in Cancer is your emotional perspective, meaning what's your attitude towards life, and that's how it's going to affect your emotions. Once you're able to understand how your emotions are affecting your thoughts and your thoughts are affecting your emotions, you're going to see the perpetual cycle between them. Once you're able to actually draw some control from this cycle and understand it and take a step back, that's when you're going to be in a very meditational sort of mind state, and you're going to be able to actually better discern your emotions and be able to utilize them to your advantage. All right. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Leo. This is a very powerful place to have it now. Leo is a fixed fire sign, very passionate, very much about being on center stage. The main concept here is because Pluto's always looking for power. When Pluto aligns with Leo, you get somebody who may be very, very narcissistic. These are the people that are very self-centered. They want to make sure that their life is a reflection of what they have in their mind, and they want to make sure that they're able to manifest all their heart's desires. These are very great things to have, but if you overstep people's boundaries to get it, if you disrespect the people that are closest to you, you're not going to get the life that you envision. You're going to end up getting a very negative result from that based on karma. The key concept that you want to do is really focus on what's my purpose, why do I want it, and then how will I attain it. It's great to have a plan, it's great to have a great vision, but like I say, competence means everything, and making sure that you are within boundaries, making sure that you're actually focusing on a grand result but not becoming overly obsessed with it to the point where that's all that matters. Making sure you can keep family relations, friendships as well is a very great thing to have throughout your life. If you're going to cut all those things off, your vision is not going to be something that, for one, will be that attainable after a while because you don't have any connections, and two, it's not going to be worthwhile once you get there. So just be very wary of becoming overly narcissistic. Focus more so on achievement-based narcissism. You can Google this as well. Achievement-based narcissism is on the spectrum saying that you understand that you really look at yourself in a grandiose manner, but you're able to put that grandiose energy towards getting particular results. Meaning, I want to go to the gym for 3 months, then focusing on that intensely. And then you want to maybe bench press 225 pounds the next 3 months, focus on that intensely. Once you're able to do those things and actually just get achievement after achievement after achievement, this is going to satiate and satisfy Pluto in that sign. But if you're unable to do this, you're unable to control the narcissism, it's just going to turn into things like having negative feedback loops, just being a victim to different situations, and that's the total opposite of how Pluto should be operating within Leo. If you're able to focus on achievement-based narcissism and actually understanding that your achievements are going to provide you more and more fulfillment, then you're on the right path. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Virgo. This is a very, very OCD sort of sign because you have Mercury with Pluto here. When you have Virgo here, Pluto and Virgo, when they interact, it becomes somebody who's very intensely focused on details, even the most minuscule things that you or I would notice. A person that has Pluto and Virgo will definitely notice it. They're very meticulous. They're very much about making sure everything is perfect. This is why these people are very successful. They can be very perfectionistic, but at the same time, that process that they have is what's necessary in order for our world to be structured the way it is. Everybody plays a key component within our universe, within our world. And the key component here is that people that have Pluto and Virgo are really able to notice the very small, finite things that other people will overlook. The problem is that when they focus on those things, they're going to get that over-analysis, which is going to lead to paralysis. You need to make sure that you're having a right intense focus on things, but always make sure that you cannot make everything completely perfect. As long as you get it up to par, set quotas for yourself, get it to the premium level that you can get it to, and then move on. If you don't move on in your thoughts and your actions, your words all stagnate on one thing for too long, meaning you're just focusing on a detail instead of focusing on the greater plan, then you're not going to actually achieve your greater plan. So always just make sure you put a hawk's view towards life and look at the bigger picture and not be too much in a rabbit hole where you're not really looking at everything that's going on around you. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Capricorn. When you have Pluto in Capricorn, this is a very ideologically great sign to have. I would say Pluto in Leo, Pluto in Scorpio, and Pluto in Capricorn are very alike in the sense that they're very competent and they lead to very high results with people that have these positions. When you have Pluto in Capricorn, this is a person that is very rigid. They're not going to really switch their ideas or switch their character unless they really see it as like a chess play. They're very good at keeping a poker face. They're very much able to be very stoic in life. And having those Saturn traits mixed with Pluto just makes them ultraly hungry for power. These are the type of people that you'll see go for presidencies. They're the type of people that will topple governments. They're the type of people that will take over businesses by hostile takeover. And this is really what's necessary in the life that we live right now. You have to be ruthless to get ahead. There's a lot of competition in the business world. To find a career is not easy. Pluto in Capricorn understands this very, very well, and they discreetly and patiently will get what they want out of life. Only thing that I would recommend is making sure you provide balance for your work and regular life, recreational activities. Even if you don't want to keep up with friends all that often because your vision is so far different or far bigger, take time to, if you're going to work hard, go to the gym, focus on your nutrition, focus on things that are going to make you healthy and make you a better person as well. Don't just simply focus on power, authority, status, and money. If you're able to focus on different relationships that you can develop with like-minded people, you're going to find that you're actually going to get to your status quo a lot quicker. Moving on, next we have Pluto in Aquarius. This is a very humanitarian sign. So Libra was more about personal relations, justice, really finding that sweet spot when it comes to just seeing how things operate within the harmonious world that we call family and friends and our cultures. But with Aquarius, they care about the world as a whole. They have a sort of black sheep, different sort of view. They want to innovate something that's going to change the world for the better. When they get too overly focused on this, they end up becoming high-sprung, stressed out. They don't end up actually doing a good job at it. They end up just becoming everybody's enemy. What you want to do is understand that everybody's going to have their own conceptions, their own ideas, and then stick with your own. You may have to transform yourself a couple of times in your life in order to meet your own expectations, but it's something that's more than necessary. If you want to do something big, you have to become the person that's going to be able to do that said thing. So my main advice to you guys is to look at your own ideas, write them down, see what the best one is, discern that quickly, don't get caught up with over-analysis, and actually make a proper decision on what you want to do. This decision may affect what you're going to do for a career. It may affect whether you're going to continue your family lineage or not. It's going to affect a lot of different things, even where you're going to live in the world. But once you're able to actually really write down and have that vision, you then can use the transformative energy of Pluto to manifest that vision into a tangible reality. Moving on, last but not least, we have Pluto in Pisces. These people are very, very, they're the empaths. They're very empathetic. They're very intuitive. They're psychic. They're clairvoyant. When Pluto is here, this is like the highest vibration, which is the 12th sign, Jupiter. And then you get Pluto, which is like the king of the underworld, the god of all the darkest things. So it's like light versus dark here. These are very intense energies to have. So when people here usually have some sort of spiritual realization throughout their life, through negative circumstances for the most part, what happens is you need to understand that your chakras, all these things can be activated through general understanding and being more mindful of the present moment. When you use the transformative energy of Pluto to attain more spiritual realization in your life, you're going to be able to manifest more things in the material realm easier. But the key here is not to focus on your spiritual journey and more so letting it happen in the way in which it's supposed to through the different experiences that you're going through in this world that the universe is providing to you. Let things actually happen versus just trying to force them to happen. And when you're able to actually do that and relax into your life, you're going to find yourself meshing in a lot better and being able to control sort of the direction your life is going. My only thing to be wary of for you guys is that you guys are overly empathetic and you guys will wear your heart on your shoulders. Unlike Capricorn, unlike Scorpio, you guys don't have that poker face. You guys are very much excited about an idea, and then if it doesn't go your way, you'll change your idea and then get very distraught. Everybody can see that. Make sure you focus on actually having a purpose and concealing it and making sure that you can actually provide endurance to it by following a certain narrative each day, by setting up great habits. When doing these things, your spiritual realization will come very naturally, but without doing these things, it's going to become a complete mess. All right? That does finalize all 12 of the signs, guys. Like I said, this is advanced. If you haven't mastered your primary planets, do not focus on this one as of yet. It's good to have it as general knowledge, but it's not as effective as certain other planets, like I said, like the Mars, the Mercuries, where Jupiter falls, where your moon sign, your sun sign, your ascendant. Focus on those things, mash them, and then come over to the Pluto so you can actually transform your life and pivot it in a new direction. All right? So thank you guys so much for your time today. I will be back tomorrow. We're going to be going on to Neptune. Please, guys, like, subscribe. Holla at me. Tip for today, guys. Peace.